The clock on the wall ticked with painful slowness. Each tick a hammer blow against the silence of the waiting room. John stared at his hands, rough and worn from years of work, now clutching a crumpled tissue. His daughter, Sarah, lay somewhere beyond those double doors, battling a diagnosis that still felt unreal. Just yesterday they were laughing over coffee, her laughter bright as the summer sun. Now the word cancer hung heavy in the air, a storm cloud obscuring their joy. He'd always been her protector, shielding her from life's harsh edges. This time he felt powerless. The door finally opened and a doctor emerged, a weary but kind look on his face. John's breath caught in his chest, every muscle tense, waiting for the verdict. It would be a long journey, the doctor explained, but there was hope. Hope, a fragile seed in the face of fear, but something to cling to nonetheless. Why me? Sarah's voice was a whisper, raw with pain. They sat by her hospital window, the city lights blurred by the approaching dusk. John struggled for an answer. There was no explaining the randomness of life, the way it could shift in a heartbeat from laughter to tears. I don't know, sweetheart, he finally admitted, his voice thick with emotion. But we'll face it together, he added, taking her hand in his, just like we always have. Sarah squeezed his hand, a faint smile gracing her lips. Even in her pain, she offered him comfort. She had always been his rock, his sunshine. Now it was his turn to be hers. The days that followed were a blur of hospital visits, consultations, and whispered conversations. John found himself seeking solace in the quiet moments, the places where he could breathe and gather his strength. One afternoon he took Sarah to the lake, their childhood haven. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the sunlight dance on the water. "Remember when we used to come here after school?" Sarah asked, her voice regaining some of its familiar strength. John smiled, remembering their carefree laughter, the way the lake always seemed to wash away their worries. "Best fishing spot in town," he chuckled, pointing to their old familiar spot. Echoes of strength. As Sarah began treatment, John drew strength from her resilience. She faced each day with a quiet courage that inspired everyone around her. It was during their evening walks under a canopy of stars that they shared their deepest fears and hopes. "Dad," Sarah began one night, her voice soft, "I'm scared." John stopped, pulling her into a hug. "It's okay to be scared," he whispered, holding her tight. "I am too." Looking up at the vast expanse of the night sky, he spoke of the countless souls who had gazed at those same stars, facing their own battles. "We're all connected," he said, "part of something much bigger than ourselves." A tapestry of healing. The journey was long and arduous, filled with setbacks and triumphs. Through it all, John learned the true meaning of resilience, the profound strength that comes from facing darkness hand in hand with love. He discovered a depth of empathy he never knew he possessed, a connection not just to his daughter, but to all those who suffered, who fought, who hoped. As Sarah's health slowly began to return, so too did the laughter fill their days. The experience had changed them both, forging an even deeper bond between them. John realized that healing wasn't just about mending a body, it was about mending hearts, finding light in the darkest of places, and recognizing the threads of love and empathy that connect us all. We are all, he knew, woven together in the tapestry of life, sharing in its joys, its sorrows, and its infinite capacity for hope.